Renarin's power also sucks, apparently.
Oh, he wrecked that power.
Yeah,
he wrecked the power. Where it could have been, where it used to be this, like, you can see the future, but also Renarin's power, like, shows you possibilities. It can change the future and, like, fuck with the overall design that the gods see. Turned into this whole, like, it turned into this weird ass. I don't even know what it turned into, honestly. It became this whole, like, ooh, yeah, this might happen, maybe, but I don't really know. Oh yeah, and then Vadawi Mishram can, not strong enough to affect anything else in the spirit realm, but is able to break into here.
Except when she confronts Shallan and...
oh, yes.
So she can do that, too.
Yeah, she can do that, too. She can show up a little bit. She can show up, like, in tiny little bursts, but in Renarin's visions, she can just absolutely break them.
That's all his visions are for, too. It's just for her. And I hate the first time. This is what I knew I was going to like a story around. The first time, like, one time she shows up and Renarin's like, I feel like I can understand her. And once again, he just Renarin just saying out loud, as he does in the entire book, because he never shows anything. He just has Renarin just speak openly. Yeah. It's just like, he's like, I feel like I can understand her, and I feel like I know what she's going through, or something like that. And I was just like, this is going to be dumb.
Renarin was the thing that... Renarin became the character that was going to not only grow as a human and become, like, great, but he was also going to be the reason that the gods couldn't predict Dalinar. And he was going to be the thorn in the side of Odium. And maybe even die because of it. Like, that's where I saw his path ending. And instead of that, they decided to turn him into a liberal arts, do-nothing character who just complains about the world and doesn't grow. The character, like... And it's not even just doesn't grow. The character from Rhythm of War, where he's barely in that book, to this book... They are two different characters in my mind. Like, they are like, this Renarin is not this Renarin at all. He doesn't act even remotely the same.
A lot of characters.
Even accounting for what he said at the beginning there, he doesn't react remotely the same as Renarin used to.
Let's move on to Dalinar, because we still have a lot to cover.
We do.
Dalinar's storyline absolutely sucks too, obviously, for many reasons. One, let's get to the one first thing. Him retconning that scene with him and Elhokar from Way of Kings. Oh my God, that was
miserably bad writing.
First of all, what a great scene in Way of Kings. Yep. What a great scene. First of all, Elhokar sucks at that time. We're not supposed to feel bad for him. He's a piece of shit at that time.
Bad.
He's a racist asshole.
He was trying. He was like sowing discord in his own kingdom.
I know.
It was nuts. He was a paranoid fuck.
Yeah, just an absolute. He was fine with like the slaves and everything.
Yeah. He wanted to put Kaladin to death.
Yep. He was
and that was like he wanted to put Kaladin to death in Words of Radiance. So like he didn't even get better in between that time frame. Like he was the maximum piece of shit right there.
It was also an epic scene for Dalinar. He's pretty much just like, I can kill you anytime you want, and by the way, I'm doing your mom. It was like great. And this time it was like Dalinar felt bad about it. Elhokar was just trying his best, and you just wanted everyone to approve of him. And Dalinar was like, I was so wrong for doing this. I was like, Brandon Sanderson, you're such a wuss.
100%. He backed down on this great writing. He made this
fucking scene.
Yeah, this masculine, gonna get shit done like war leader who could have killed Elhokar, but instead it was like, I'm going to teach you how to do this right, because no one else is going to.
It's such a pivotal point for Elhokar.
Yeah, it's the point that puts him down the right path finally.
Yes.
Like Elhokar doesn't fix in that time period. He fixes after Kaladin saves him. But they wouldn't be able to get to this point had Dalinar not broken him down to nothing, and then given him a foundation to build back up.
And also, literally, the only reason the scene exists is just for so Gav can see it happen. Just so we can let's get to this point, because the Battle of Champions, I think that's what it's called. I barely remember.
Sure, yeah.
Was supposed to be this epic, awesome fucking battle. I was like so pumped about it. I was like, I can't wait to see the champions. I was like, there's no way it's going to be Dalinar. Ended up being Dalinar, but I was like, can't wait to see who's going to pick for the other side. Could be really interesting. And we got Gavilar, and it was fucking dumb.
It was. We got quick aged Gavilar too, which was stupid.
A character we don't care about, we don't know anything about, has no development at all.
I have almost zero connection to Gav, because he's just like he's a token that's there to make Dalinar worry when he's in the spirit realm. But like otherwise, what scenes has Gavilar done anything that would make me like the kid, really? Like I don't hate the kid. I don't hate Gavilar. I think he's like, oh, he's a child, and like he's part of Dalinar's family. So he's a good guy. I like him, but I don't have any connection to him at all. Like he does. There's nothing that would make me want to be invested in this character.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I was like, I thought Gav could have become a good character,
a great character, like, especially hanging out with Lift.
Yeah, hanging out with Lift, and just like and like say like Dalinar did die. He sacrificed himself at the end of this book for what apparently everyone said is a bad reason. That's how whatever. But he sacrificed himself at the end of the book. And it could have been like a big scene for Gav, and then like there could have been like a time skip of like 10 years or something after this book, and then you find out Gav is actually like become like a forefront leader and all this kind of stuff, and then you give us Gav's backstory like you give us in all the other books, so you get to see how Gav became like who he is.
That'd been good.
And then like Gav becomes like the new Dalinar, but because Kaladin's missing, he's like a mix between Dalinar and Kaladin. It could have been this great, awesome character.
Yeah.
Instead, you're just like, he's 20 years older, and he hates Dalinar now and has no personality, and shouldn't you feel for him? And then, on top of that, he shows up, they fight for like 2 seconds, and then Taravangian pauses him, and he's like, either he kills you or you kill him. What's it gonna be? I was like, so we don't even get a fight.
No, not at all. We were never gonna get a fight, apparently. Like, it's so annoying that just like it still came down to this age-old, it's gonna be a battle of philosophies sort of thing. And it's like, where these battle philosophies have happened before, but they happen on the battlefield with combat happening, with keeping me something that keeps me entertained and all this stuff. But they're just rehashing the same damn thing that Taravangian and Dalinar did over like what they used to like hang out by the fire or some shit like that. The same like constant conversations that they had, this time just in a worse form, because they're just having Gavilar do nothing.
Yeah. And it's because you don't care about him.
No, I don't care about
like,
Gavilar.
It would have been like, I would have hated this scene, but like one of those like hate-love things. If like what happened was like Adolin lost or something, and then like him losing, he gets poisoned by like some fused the darkness magic or something, and then he's actually the champion. And like in the back of mind, he doesn't want to do it, but he like has to do it, and they're like, and then Dalinar like, and they actually fight.
Yes.
And like something like that, and like because like. Maybe, yeah. Oh my God, that scene would have been epic.
That scene would have been great, and like Dalinar was like beating him down.
None of us would have been happy about it.
No, I wouldn't have seen it coming either.
Yeah, and wouldn't have seen it coming. And you would have lost Adolin or Dalinar, but you can't lose. It would have been a huge struggle. But instead, like Gav is just like I understand why Dalinar was upset about it. I get it, but it's just like I don't care for this character.
No, you understand why Dalinar wouldn't want to murder his grandson, but you don't feel it.
Yes.
And where everywhere else in the Stormlight books, in most good books, you feel you have been communicated enough, you have enough of a connection that you feel why the character doesn't want to do this thing or does want to do this thing. In this instance of just like, oh yeah, most grandfathers don't want to murder their grandkids. So like it may that's like the essence that you understand. That's like what you're getting out of it.
It's also such BS. It's just like and first he was like, when Dalinar was like, Elhokar, I was like, Elhokar, interesting. How is this possible? But we'll see. The book is already so long and so boring, I don't really care. And then it's like, it's Gav, and I was like, what? And then Teravodium's like, yeah, you see what happened was it's actually a fake baby that I made that's only can make it sleep, and no one's noticed that, whatever. It was like, then I pulled from Vivani at the last second when she left because whatever. Because magic, even though they already went to year 3 before that, and she could have left then, but whatever. And then he's like, and what happened was, since time is different everywhere because time magic, he's actually 20 years old, and I just kept showing him images of how awful you are. I was like, what?
It was dumb.
I was like, that is so lame. It's like it's like Sanderson was like, what if he fought Gav? And a bunch of people around him were like, oh, that would be shocking. Yes. That would be shocking.
I'm shooketh.
How's that happen? Time. Genius. The Spirit Realm is not going to be super boring or anything. We're just not going to show you a bunch of memories that they've already been through and everything like that.
Stupid. So fucking
The Spirit Realm is a MacGuffin for Sanderson.
It is. The Spirit Realm could have been this awesome place where the gods' powers resided, and instead, it was just like it's reruns of things that have already happened and that Sanderson desperately wanted to show us and couldn't figure out a better way to show us apparently. But Gav coming back, it was just, and Gav living at the end of this too is just sort of just like, now I'm just like, great, now I got to see this character again.
Well, it's one of those things too. It's like, what does Gav bring to the table? Like, he's not going to have any backstory. He has no backstory now because you just told us his entire backstory is just rerun images of Dalinar being awful. Yeah. By the way, we had to watch the scene at the wall again. It's just like, oh my gosh.
The rift, you mean?
Yeah, the rift, sorry. Because Teravodium we'll get to Teravodium in a second. What a massacre that was of a character that could have been so awesome. because Ray's was awesome. But like, it's just like he has no backstory, and and he's already sad and depressed. I was like, what is he, Kaladin 2.0?
Apparently. And then even just to finish out Dalinar's thing there, like the stupidity of Dalinar dying, and then there's being another Dalinar. So none of it matters.
Oh, the Blackthorn.
The Blackthorn. Let me just pull the Blackthorn out of the spirit. Why? You made a great point of this like a couple of days ago. It's like, why did Odium need Dalinar? Like original Rays. Why did Rays want Dalinar at all? Why didn't you just go into the spirit realm and just bloop, Blackthorn? Here we go. Why didn't you just make an army of Blackthorns since they just infinitely make the memories in there?
Nah.
What was the point of this?
It makes no
sense. The whole
sense.
point of this, the spirit realm was supposed to be ethereal and not have any real matterings here. But apparently, you can just rip some fake copied soul out of it, and it's like, yep, here's the Blackthorn, ready to go. Mm-hmm. Boom. It's fucking... So Dalinar is not really gone. It's the Blackthorn's gonna be there. So now we're gonna have to go through an entire sequence where the Blackthorn becomes Dalinar. So we have to go through his whole memory and shit again. And it's gonna be so because Dalinar did give him his memories.
Yeah, and then Adolin's gonna like have a whole crisis of meaning when he comes across it and all this kind of stuff.
I hope Brandon Sanderson learns and then just has Kaladin like stab him through the freaking heart immediately and get the Dalinar, just erase half this.
That's just book. Because it's like ruins Dalinar's whole sacrifice.
Yeah,
which by the way I did not feel at all.
No,
I wish I did.
I felt so
love Dalinar so much. He is one of the coolest scenes.
It made me feel bad because when Dalinar died, I was like, I don't feel a single thing for this
because it wasn't cool. Like it was just like, well, first off, he did this stupid thing where it's like he goes and backs and talks to the old king, can't remember his name, and then they're like having a conversation, and then you see Honor's Noadon, and then Honor's a child, and it's this long thing, and I'm like, once again, if there wasn't 20 hours of this book that were super boring, maybe this would have been interesting.
And I could have been interested in the shards, like if you leave them alone for X amount of years, they start redeveloping personalities, and in essence, they're probably redeveloping the personality that is Ada Nulcium, which is really cool because that means Ada Nulcium could probably reform. And I just like, it's a very interesting, it could have been a really interesting storyline, but like you said, I don't care because you've wasted all my time in this. Yep. And then there's like, and like that scene with Noadon was like beautifully described, beautifully done, and all this stuff. And it was great, and it was nice. And I'm just like, I'm sitting here, it's like, but you wrecked so much of the rest of this book that I can't care about this.
Like I would say, objectively, it's a good scene.
Yeah,
objectively, like it's very old school Sanderson, like Stormlight style. Noadon's great. I even like the line where he's like, when Dalinar's like, "Are you real?" He's like, "I don't know, maybe," or "You have the power of honor and you're making me."
Yeah,
real. Or something like that. That was really good and all stuff.
That was good stuff.
Eating the bread was good, but it was just one of those things at the time. I was just like, I don't care about any of this. And then like the whole thing was like, I just can't give Terravonium time, so I'll make sure he takes honor. Whereas first of all, the words for honor,
that was stupid.
I understand it. I understand you. We went from journey to journey before destination, and like Kaladin's like, you can't save them all and all this kind of thing, to I understand you.
I understand you. The frigging no, it was. I understand you. I get you. Don't you? Or I get you, fam. And in the club, we all fam.
And it's the fact that Terravonium just also can do it immediately right after. It says the exact same words. But we also found out in this book, per Kaladin, the words actually don't matter. It's just your feeling towards saying the words.
I feel like it shatters the entire concept of the
Absolutely. That's like, so dumb.
Like before it was
They're called the words.
The words. And you can't get power unless you find the right meaning behind the words.
Yes.
Like that was a big thing. Like everyone like there was so many jokes people just like saying the oaths and not getting any power because they didn't mean him. Yeah. The whole point was supposed to grow and then you could speak the words. But now it's just like I don't even know why he did that.
Now it's
that
just
was so
meaning.
stupid.
Now it's just meaning. There are no words. There are no words.
There are no rules. There are no rules.
Well, actually, there are no words.
Yeah,
because it's just meaning.
Yeah.
So as long as you say any words with proper meaning, you're good to go.
Your feelings
matter. He's the herald of second chances. So.
Oh yeah, that's so stupid. Could have been Herald of Kings again. That'd been fine.
Yeah. Because he did problem with Kaladin that he was like always a leader type, but whatever. So then or Honor goes into Terravonium and he becomes Retribution, right?
Yeah. You know what? Sorry, before we even get to that, like Dalinar picking up Honor, I wouldn't like. It was a theory we had.
Battery on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dalinar picking up Honor, like we had like theories that could happen, and I didn't hate that. I was like, oh, Dalinar picked it up, and then Dalinar breaking his O's, and that's how like and not understanding it. I actually didn't hate that. I thought that matched the character pretty well. It's like this would be something Dalinar could do, but it was done in the dumbest fucking way possible, and I'm just like, this is such everything you did was meaningless for all of this. And then then Odium does pick up the shard.
And also, just like the Battle of Champions, like if you're fine with how that was, you're lame.
Yeah,
it could have been such a cool.
It was way too much build up for the garbage scene that
you got nothing out of it. It lasted like 10 minutes of the book.
You know what? This was supposed to be the epitome, the like pinnacle of the first 5 books of the Stormlight Archive. Yes. And you know what was better than this? The arena scene in Words of Radiance.
Yes,
so you didn't do something right there.
The scene where Dalinar fights Sev and he gets his axe
way better.
That's a great scene. Yep. It's in the rain. Once again, described beautifully.
Yeah.
Another thing in this book that he does is first of all, he jumps around way too much. I know a bunch of Sanderson people are like, oh, that's how he's always on his books. Not true. That's how he did the books really early on in the beginning. Yeah. And he slowly got away from it as the books are going on.
And even then, when he did jump around perspectives, and he did do that a little bit, it wasn't 80 perspectives in one fucking book.
Yeah, that was one of the things.
Exaggeration, but it was still like
Way of Kings was like, it'd be like, like 4 or 5 or something, but it was like happening way too much. In this book, literally it's happening, it's like he does it like at the end of Oathbringer when they're battling, he does it in big battle scenes, and I like that because it's like jumping around from like character to character in the battle, and you're seeing all these different perspectives of the battle, and you're like, oh, this is cool. But he does it in literally every single chapter, every single scene in this book, and I'm like, I don't need 16 just stick to a character, man.
Yeah, like I said, and the book's bloated. He put too much into it. He had perspectives of characters we didn't need at all.
How much did you hate that every chapter, like every day starts like Adolin, Venli, which we'll get in a second, Sigzil, Yasna, Wit, Dalinar, Navani, R'hllorn. I was like, he would name off like 17 characters, and I was like, dude, what? It's only one day.
And you know what? The other times he'd only do that is like at the end of the books.
Yeah.
Like when it was like the last like quarter of the book, then he would hit everybody because big shit was happening.
That makes sense. Then.
But now it was like every day. Every
day.
Oh my goodness,
horrible. We really gotta start speeding this up here. Okay. Terravodium. The only great scene he had in this entire book is when he obliterates Wit. Hilarious, awesome.
And when I still like when he destroys Kharbranth.
I like when he destroys Kharbranth, and once again, I feel like the first 25% of this book is actually pretty good, except for the sex hour scene with Shallan that was disgusting.
Yeah, but Terravodium, like doing that whole sequence where in the interludes where he was like trying to figure out who he was.
Oh, the interludes
was awesome.
Were great.
Yeah, the interludes in the book slapped. They were good. But like when he was trying to figure all that out, that was great.
His whole conversation with El.
But it was with El. Yeah.
We'll get to that.
But when, it was right after he destroyed Kharbranth that his characters went.
Because the character became just like an evil victim. Like when he's making them watch a bunch of memories to break them, like battles, like this isn't creative.
This is dumb.
And then even worse is that we get Tanavas's backstory, which is incredible. It's actually a great part of the story. Reyes was such a cool villain.
Yeah.
He should have just kept him.
Yeah.
He was a great villain.
Reyes was fire.
I understand he was like more broken towards the end, but if somehow he just maybe like something clicked in him or something, I don't know. Reyes was awesome.
Yeah. Reyes is a fantastic character. He did it Tanavas's story is what highlighted the book, as I said at the beginning of the podcast. But it's one of the reasons because it shows how awful Reyes was, but how smart he was too for a long time, and how good he was at being the villain. Yeah, and all this stuff, and not
his gold crown and everything.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah, I really very Adolin storyline, Tanavas and Sev's.
Yeah, I'm down for that. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Yeah,
that's probably my favorite.
That was really good. It was. I just don't understand. So Terravodium makes a point. He says he has all the memories of Reyes and shit, and then does the exact same thing that Reyes did, but worse. Shows all these bad memories. Remember when Kaladin was in one of his nightmares, back in Rhythm of War, and was seeing all this crappy, terrible things happening. He was getting buried in Krem, over and over again. These nightmares were happening, and then and that was great because that was breaking Kaladin down. But these were terrible, and they're roughly the same thing. It was just, and it's just so
a bunch
boring.
of things they've all lived through already.
Yeah.
So
over and over again.
It's just oh no, we have to see these scenes again. And then here, how about they don't want to?
Again.
I hated watching Navani watching Alucard's death thing.
What a waste of time.
What a waste of time. And also, that scene is an incredible scene. When Alucard finally goes to say the words, you're feeling so amazing. Kaladin's on the brink because his friends are all fighting, but he's okay. Then Moash slowly walks in. He doesn't go, then Moash walks in, which is what he would have done in this book.
Yeah.
He describes who, by the way they look at everything, and then he kills them and does the British salute. Kaladin breaks. It's a phenomenal scene. And then Navani watches it, and it's like the most boring thing ever. It was just so stupid.
It didn't wreck the scene because that scene's still golden, but it was boring.
No, it's just I knew what he was doing. Yeah. He just is like, everyone loves the scene. It's one of my best scenes ever.
Remember this?
Remember? That's what the Spirit Realm was.
Yeah.
Remember? And then I'm going to call out Sanderson on this one. Sanderson makes fun of the fact that Voldemort is a mustache twirling villain, which he is. Voldemort is like a pretty okay villain. He's not the greatest. But like, it's a kid's book. Yeah. But like, Terravodium, last 25% of this book is a mustache twirling villain.
Yeah,
he
the entire
like,
time.
See these evil memories and break down. And then he's like, I took Gav by switching out a baby that's asleep forever at the last second of Navani leaving. And now, 20 years, I made him watch a bunch of bad stuff. And now you have to fight him or you die.
Yep.
And it's like, what? You're supposed to be smart.
You were supposed to be better than Reyes.
And none of your plans worked.
None of them.
Literally not one.
Not a single. They're all disastrous.
Literally not one plan he had worked.
Yeah. It was so dumb. So dumb. It was ridiculous. And just he's so much less of a compelling villain now. Like, as the course, like you said, he became a mustache twirling villain. And over the course of the book, I was like, you're just Taravangian, but worse somehow. Like,
a million times worse.
You're definitely worse than Reyes, but you're worse than the character you were before. And I'm just like, I didn't enjoy half the time he was on there. Yes, he did do the amazing scene where he just busts into the surgery room and Witz goes like, Taravangian. No, atomized. Which is smart. No, everyone else should have done that. Yeah. It's like, don't let him talk. But it was like, even that was a good scene and all that stuff. Wit showing up with the Wit was great in the book, and that he
Wit was always good in the book. Yeah.
He has a Dawn shard that that everyone thought he threw away, but then picked back up, and everyone was like, "Why'd you do this? And then why'd you fucking bring it to Shari, you idiot?"
He's like, "Yeah, maybe that was." He's like, "Hindsight, not a good idea."
2020, man. But anyways, yeah. But then so Terravodium, waste of a villain, and then he becomes Retribution, so he's gonna be the villain moving forward still. And I'm interested to see maybe
all the shards are going to be attacking apparently.
If they do that, most of the shards are fucking useless.
Well, that's what I was confused about. It's like, oh no, now all the shards know where I am, and they're all going to come for me. And I was like, okay.
Let's see. Harmony can't do dick.
Harmony
is preservation and
Harmony's on the move though.
No, autonomy's on the move.
Autonomy's on the move.
Autonomy's on the move, and that happens in Mistborn, the end of Era 4. And Autonomy's not really on the move. Autonomy does jack shit. She has an army, but like the army has to get to the planet. It's dumb. It's just like, it's not. I like Mistborn 4. I'm not shitting on that book, but if that's your big like ooh, that's useless. Yeah. That's fucking useless. Mm-hmm. That's dumb. Let's see. I don't know what the rest of the shards are do. Whimsy ain't doing dick. But like, I don't know what the rest of the shards are gonna do, Valor and all that crap out there. If they actually do anything, cool. But the story of all these books so far has really been that like, the shards can't really pull the shit off. Like, there's so much worse versions of the god they killed, and they can't do anything. Like, Ruin, all he could do, like, he tried to ruin a planet, couldn't even get that done properly.
That's true.
Preservation couldn't really preserve, like, he went too batshit crazy with Preservation, but couldn't do anything there. Yeah. Autonomy, just like, I don't even know what Autonomy's whole game is. She's just like, she likes individuality, but also likes people to conform. It's very confusing. And then Honor couldn't do shit. Cultivation ran away because she can't do anything but grow things and grow things badly.
I know, yeah. Cultivation.
Cultivation literally ran away.
Yeah, once again.
What are the rest of the shards going to do?
It's so annoying because, like, that's a good point. It's just so annoying because Tanavaz's backstory with Cultivation, everything was such a great story.
It was. It was fantastic.
It was awesome. And then we got Terravodium,
Retribution.
Retribution is just stupid.
Yeah.
And just
which Retribution is this new like amalgam of Honor and Odium, yet pieces of Honor flew off to become the Herald still.
I know.
How does that make it? Stormlight got obliterated.
Oh, that's another scene. That's an absolute another scene. This is why I hate Deus Ex Machina of the Wind. Is they're like, oh no, Retribution's a thing now. Now what he's gonna do is suck in all the Spren so they can't do anything. And the Wind's like, don't worry, I can stop it.
How?
And I was like, wait, what? I was like, oh, so this really actually very intense thing that could have been super intense. It's like the guy from Pitch Meeting where it's like, and then what's going to happen is, Retribution is going to try to suck in all the spread. It's like, well, that's going to be a problem. It's like, barely inconvenience. Not a problem at all. Gets solved instantly.
No problem
There's
at all.
Literally no issue.
I don't understand. Like, Honor's power doesn't exist anymore. So I don't understand how the Heralds can still be Honor. How the Heralds still exist.
Because it broke, because pieces of it broke off.
Yeah.
Also, I like how the Wind is stronger than a dual shard god.
Yeah, that's wild.
The wind
that's
is
insane.
stronger than a dual shard god.
But it was originally left behind by Aeronosium. And it's like...
The Aeronosium is part.
Yes.
I mean, the shards are part of Aeronosium.
They are direct parts of Aeronosium. They are... each one's infinity. Pretty sure the wind's just on Roshar.
Yeah. And somehow the Unmade are there. Anyways, John Knott, who's just like, I play both sides.
I play both sides, so I always come out on top.
John Knott shows up at the end just to be like, I play both sides. And I was like, thank God you're in this book.
How does she exist still?
I have no idea.
Odium should have wrecked her. His power doesn't exist either, so how the hell...
His power... Well, that's the other thing. Odium's power is very kind of confusing in this book. Is like he can make an absolute tidal wave that can destroy Cabranth in like 2 seconds, no problem. But can't find Ba, Made-A-Wish-Ram in the Spirit Realm.
That would make any sense.
Impossible.
We're a god, so we should be stronger and
also,
strongest.
for some very reason, like, makes sense why he... Wait. We made sense why he couldn't see Shallan, Renarin, and R'hllane. Why could he not see Dalinar, Navani, and Gav?
Because Stormfather was hiding them.
Stormfather was hiding them, yes. Makes sense why he could not see Renarin, R'hllane, and Shallan, because Renarin. But
Renarin, and he just didn't care.
Yeah, he really didn't care about them. But also the Stormfather's been like, I'm turning you guys in just for like 10 hours later to be in the book. It's like, I feel bad about it. Never mind.
Yeah, pretty much.
I was just like...
Cool. Sick.
Stormfather dying, that's sad.
That is sad. I like Stormfather. Not in this book. Well, in this book he was fine.
No, Stormfather was the Stormfather in this book.
Yeah, he
just was like broken.
Yeah, that's true.
He actually had development and like character and all that kind of stuff.
Wild, yeah. But they just like got rid of him.
Okay.
That was
Terravodium also.
Terravodium's bad. One more character that I'm just gonna speed through some of these.
Well, we got to do Seb's backstory real quick.
Seb's backstory.
Yeah, we have to do it, and then we're gonna do some speed through things.
Yeah.
Of characters ruined and all that kind of stuff. Yes. Sorry, it's a very long podcast for us.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean it's a long book. It's a bloated to fuck book.
Yeah,
and then we have to give our ratings at the end.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, but Seb's backstory. I wasn't too fan of how fast the ending happened. So I will say Kaladin's and Dalinar's I still think I like more. Mm-hmm. However, I don't know. It's really close. His backstory is almost a masterpiece.
Yeah, I'd say it's pretty fire. The only thing I don't like is Ashar, but beyond that,
that's the only thing.
That was really I liked his whole. I did like the breaking down of Sev and how like the whole rock thing. I did like it was good, and it was like
gave a real cool look on a culture too.
Yeah, look on a culture, and kind of could. It's still Sev's still bad, but it kind of started to make sense how he would follow that stupid rock and do all those murders. Like it was a cultural, religious thing. I get it to a level, obviously still like murder bad, you dumb, but I get it. A guy who just like every turn, everyone told him he was doing something wrong. And then the one guy that was telling him he was doing something right then told him he was doing something wrong. Yeah. And that broke him. So I can see how he got to
Which we find out at the end that his dad actually the entire time didn't agree with Ashar. Which was so fucking dumb. It's just like just to give his dad like an out, like that he isn't bad. Like he's like, I actually knew the entire time. I was like, oh my god. He's like, but that was the only way I know you could be protected. I was like, okay.
Stupid.
But his backstory wasn't like every time he cut to Seth's backstory, I was like, nice.
Yeah.
I was like, this is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be really good.
Yeah.
Love like all the honor bearers and like their storyline, how they were all like kind of like corrupt politicians and pieces of shit.
Yeah.
The one was doing Sev's dad.
That was funny. Yeah. She was the only good one though.
She was the only good one.
Yeah. She's the only one that like resisted Ishtar. She was the will shaper, so she resisted
Ashar.
Yeah.
And like just the way they would build and like how Sev was like this great soldier, the storyline with his sister, his mom was really sad. I hated when his sister came back and the thing because it just once again if the book wasn't so bloated with a bunch of stuff, it would have been like, oh, Sev's sister's back, but instead she comes back and then like dies and like.
Exactly. I like and like you're just like, okay, cool, it's your sister. I kind of saw this coming.
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, you totally saw it coming, right? You just saw like I saw his dad coming back too. I was like, oh no.
Oh, yep.
The only thing I didn't like about but his storyline is incredible. Do like the one shrine they go to where he has like that puzzle he has to do. In reality, could have been cut from the book, not needed. Yeah. But do like this is out of his story backstory, but like where he has a puzzle and he's got to kill the right thing, and then
and he does it with still hearts and helps him stuff, and it's actually like. Which would have been kind of cooler if we had gotten him in the backstory first. It was like one of his good buddies.
Yeah, that's true.
And it'd been really better if we just like seen that earlier.
Yeah.
And then like, but it didn't really matter because they didn't really kill him until the end of the book. It was just...
Yeah, well, that was always stupid too. It's like they're all not actually dead until Sword Nimi does the job.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but But his backstory was really good. The only thing I complained about is like they were setting up this huge army. Brandon Sanderson clearly only liked fighting if Adolin was doing it, and Sigil for some reason. And this huge army is going to be this big battle, and Sev's dad shows up and he's like, "No, wait, don't do it." Well, I guess they did the back lines or whatever, and they're like, "No, wait, don't do it." And then Sev's like, "Oh, no, I won't." And they're like, "But you have to follow this rock now." And he's like, "Okay." And they're like, "And that's how Sev got to where he is."
Yep, that's
how like it kind of ended. It was just like.
And we're done. We're good.
After 60 hours of listening to a book.
Yeah, that was kind of rough.
He should have spent like a few memories.
Sev almost did a full-on revolution too. Dang.
Yeah. He should have done like a few memories on that one scene.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
He only did one memory on that scene. And I was like, you should have done a few memories on like that scene. And then just
bounced him to where he needed.
You could have had a whole memory of him like talking to his dad and like the complications, classic Sanderson where you're like developing characters and their emotions and blah, 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 like that. Mm-hmm. And you show two characters talking about it and like trying to figure it out instead of just being like, Sev feels like this.
He feels bad.
He did that so much in this book. It would cut to a character and it would just tell you everything they just felt about what happened and how they're about to feel about things happen. And I was like, you could just show them feeling that
Let me feel it. Yeah. Don't tell me. I hate this tell crap.
Yeah, but Sev's backstory was good.
Sev's backstory, I enjoyed it through and through. I'd have to go back and look and see where I'd rank it in terms of backstories. Definitely Dalinar's and Kaladin's is better. And maybe to an extent, I think Shallan's might be too. But
yeah, I'd have to go. I think Shallan's...
It was a good part of the book.
Shallan's ending is better.
Yeah.
But I think Sev's was like the one I'll get... Sev's backstory, or I'll say... why I think it like ranks pretty high for me is like it was entertaining like every time it was on.
Yeah, that's true. It was a high point, but now it's entertaining. Is it entertaining because it's good, or is it entertaining because the rest of this book was so bad?
That is possible too.
Yeah,
but I did like Sev's backstory. Like even when we thought the book was okay.
Yeah, but like I say, if we're ranking against other storylines, like even Shallan's, like
it's just like a lot of Shallan's. I was like,
true. I guess it's fair. Fair enough.
But Shallan's is very good still. Obviously, like that. So Sev's backstory was good. Absolutely useless garbage storyline was Venli. That story.
Venli was useless, dumb. Just like, ooh, look at this. We can talk to the things that look like us, the big monster things that look like us. That's all racist. We can talk to them. It's fine.
And at the end, she has a deed to the Shattered Plains. I was like, all of that. I had to listen to Venli talking all this time. For this is the payout. It would have been a better scene if Venli just showed up at the end with the 5. And Elle was like, what? And then she was like, we actually have it out. And I'm like, whoa, Venli, you were here this entire time? That's crazy. Instead, we just had to keep hearing Venli and the 5 being like, we're here in the Shattered Plains.
She had to find the useless pool of Odium's power.
Oh, yeah, it did nothing.
It did nothing. They found it, then they got captured, and then it went away.
Yeah.
So stupid. And I'm gonna lead right into it because it's the next biggest disappointment for me. Was the absolute uselessness of Elle, who Brandon Sanderson had me hyped as fuck for at the end of Rhythm of War, because Elle was having all these like opening lines for the chapters, like Elle and the musings of the last 10 days, and they were really cool lines. And then the beginning of this book, Elle's like. Elle was supposed to be the
interlude with him and Odium.
Yeah, it was great. Elle was supposed to be the different singer. He was supposed to be the one that scares the shit out of you, and you're gonna be like, "Oh crap, he could actually win."
That's
sort of situation. And like they made him out to be in that interlude with Odium, where
he was gonna be the game changer.
Yeah, he was gonna be the game changer. Like they talked like he was a game changer, and then all he was it turned out he was just a super old singer from when they first became singers, and was useless. Got bamboozled at the Shattered Plains and did nothing else.
He just killed a fused.
What a fucking absolute waste of character.
A rug pull.
Terrible.
Yep.
I thought Elle was going to be the champion. I had such high hopes for him, and he just did absolutely nothing with him.
He did nothing with him.
None of those instances where all the people were talking, like all the characters were telling us how scary Elle is and how different he is, and he only lies rarely.
He rips off his scarapace.
Yeah, he'll beat you, and it's like, you're just telling me these things. You showed me none of this, and then he lost because he got bamboozled.
Yep, by a piece of paper.
And
speaking of bad characters, Elle is a horrible character. I guess Sanderson doesn't like Moash anymore as a character.
That's bad too.
He gives him glass, clearly, Scadrial-esque design, eyes, whatever. Which at first I was like, ooh. And then Moash just becomes a shell of himself. He just shows up sometimes at the battlefield to be like, you guys sided with the Bright Eyes. I hate that. It's like, yeah, we know, Moash, you've always been like this. Yes. Why are you okay?
He stopped developing Moash's character.
Yeah, Moash literally kills Layton and then does a Bridge Force salute, and I almost chucked my phone. Because I was like, You're downplaying who Moash is.
Yeah.
The scene where he does a Bridge Force salute when he kills Elcar is epic, and it makes you hate the guy.
Yes.
And it's an insane scene. You're like, and he's never done that since.
Yeah.
Maybe when he killed Teft, I can't remember, but if he did, that makes sense too, because Teft was
an insane death.
And it was an insane moment. And all
I don't even know who fucking died in this one. I was like, yeah, he killed someone. He's killed someone.
And then he killed, he almost killed Sigil Spren.
Yes, and then but Sizzle broke off, so they're gonna set up Sunlight Man.
But that's all Moash just jumps in to be like, ooh no, Moash for this few seconds. Ooh.
Yeah, he's just there, like
he's just a shell of himself.
Yeah, like with L, he was just like, oh look how bad he is, everyone hates him. Oh no, he's gone.
And also, how does this work now? Because like the whole thing was Moash versus Kaladin, and it was just like this awesome thing. Now Kaladin's a herald, and like Moash is like, I don't even know what he is anymore.
I don't know. He's super angry boy now. That's what they're doing with him.
And when he was like, you guys sided with the Bright Eyes, I was like, oh,
we're here again. What? We're here again.
Also, thank God you made him blind at the end of the book, because that was cool.
Yeah.
You just fixed it immediately.
And you didn't kill him in this book, and just now we're going to have to deal with this mess later on.
But it's just like how dumb is that? Like he was blind. We're like,
Kaladin's not even on planet.
When he went blind.
Kaladin's not even on planet anymore. So like, who's going to deal with Moash?
Nobody.
Apparently nobody. Yeah.
Remember when he went blind and
it was great.
He gets fixed immediately.
It's fixed immediately. Like he got better eyes. Like it was no problem. But barely inconvenience.
Yeah, no problem at all.
Yep.
Also, the whole Sigil storyline, I actually didn't really like. At first, I liked it. I like Sigil actually had some good character development in the first 25% of the book, and then that all kind of goes out the window.
Yeah.
Because all Sigil does is just fight. Sigil's scene, there's a few fights, yeah, sure, whatever I like, but Sigil's scenes remind me of like Vin versus what's his name?
Zane.
Vin versus Zane, which is like, and then he does this, and then he does this, and then he lashes this way, lashes this way, lashes this way, lashes that way, and I was like, okay, I know how Windrunners fight.
Yeah.
I don't need to see him fighting this
it's like he was just trying to shunt all the combat into Adolin and Zigzal's storyline. Yes. Like it's where he wanted to just distill it, and then like everyone else can just have their talky feely moments.
And also, didn't it just feel like the Shattered Plains like didn't matter?
It didn't matter at all. They could have lost it.
Evidently it didn't.
It did. Yeah. Really. Yeah. Evidently it didn't, because the reason Terravodium wanted it so much because the pool was there, even though I think he can move it, so it doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh yeah, he can. That.
Yeah. And then the Urathira wanted it for shipping shit.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm just like, you can't find anywhere else to do that, really? You have literal teleportation portals.
Wait a minute. And also, didn't Dalinar lose?
What?
Or did he win? He lost.
The Battle of Champions?
Yeah.
He destroyed the contract, so it doesn't matter. He destroyed the agreement. He broke the oath, so didn't matter.
What?
So Tanavast's original agreement, he just shattered it.
So they don't own the lands permanently? Like, that was the whole thing. Like, Odium would own the lands that he would keep.
Yeah.
And then, or something.
Maybe it's still in effect. Maybe everyone just agreeing on it.
I don't really know.
I don't really know either.
I don't really care.
Because he broke it, so Odium could leave.
Yeah, Odium can leave.
Yeah.
Odium actually is not leaving because he comes back every once in a while to give the Parshendi Stormlight.
Yes.
I don't know.
This book is bad.
Well, like another thing a lot of people were saying online, it's like Empire Strikes Back. It's like, that's how the ending is. I was like, I feel like it's just like a middle ending. Like, it's not horrible what happens, and it's not good what happens. It's just like, it is bad that I don't know, maybe I'm downplaying him getting 2 shards because everyone else is like, oh God.
But it's a lot of power. And like, it seems like Retribution can actually do things as opposed to Harmony, because Harmony can't do anything.
Yeah, but the thing that's weird to me is it just seems like he's not doing anything, because they move like a month later in the book at the end and nothing is happening. Why doesn't he just like fucking up like all the people that still exist? Why isn't he killing Shallan? Oh, Shallan's in Shazmar. Why isn't he killing Adolin? How's Navani? Oh, I guess probably the sibling somehow can stop 2 shards. That's probably what it is.
That stupid poor lady's put her in stasis.
Oh yeah, Navani's like now just like
all the because all the good guys are stuck in this portal.
The only person left on Roshar is Adolin.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Because Renarin and Relaine fucked off to Fire Island.
If for some reason the agreement still holds, he shouldn't be able to hurt anybody in Azamir, because he lost that. But that doesn't make any sense, because I don't think the agreement still holds. I'll have to go back and reread the chapter, unfortunately. Because I don't think that the agreement still holds, because Dalinar literally said, I break my oath and shit. And that's what releases him to be able to do things.
Yeah. Yeah, because also that's like how all the other shards see him. Yeah, but did he break that oath? He broke the original oath, but they set up the Battle of Champions in that original oath.
Mm-hmm.
But their contract was different. They did have a side contract. So maybe that contract...
What do you mean with side contract?
The one they had with Odium. Like, they had with Odium.
Yeah, okay,
that wasn't... So maybe that still went into effect.
Yeah.
But, like, the original contract is no longer in effect.
Yeah, that's probably what it is. That might be more sense.
So I think Dalinar lost. Because he died. He did lose.
He did lose... Well, okay, no. Because Yes, okay. Yes, he lost, but the Battle of Champions didn't matter. Because it didn't exist anymore. But I think you're right. I think you're right with the agreement. Because they signed an agreement.
Yeah, wasn't that all based also on the Battle of Champions? Because whoever won or lost.
No,
Well, yeah, and then that did circumnavigate it because they said that, like, if honor is the reason Dalinar dies, then Odium would win.
No, but the contract they signed, the ones the humans did for Dalinar become honor.
Yeah.
When the Battle of Champions was over, all the borders solidified.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that was that agreement.
Happened.
But it didn't matter who won in that. That was the whole point. That's how they got raised. That it didn't matter who won it.
Yeah, that's true.
But the Battle of Champions made between Tanavast and Reyes that kept Odium on the planet, that didn't matter anymore. Because that got ripped. I'd have to go back and reread it. I don't know. I don't think that the piece of paper one they signed with Odium kept him in the system, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and look.
Have fun doing that.
Yeah. Well, I get to read Rhythm of War. That'd be fun.
Rhythm of War is
a
good one. Rhythm of War is very well written.
Yeah.
But I think we covered pretty much most of everything.
We probably could have split this into 2 episodes, honestly.
Probably could have, but, maybe split it into 2 YouTube videos.
I could do that. That's possible, yeah. I could do that.
One long podcast, split into YouTube, 2 YouTube
videos. I could do that. That's fair.
Yeah, like Winning Truth Part 1, Winning Truth Part 2.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. It's easy. Yeah.
Because that'd be easier to watch for.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, this is a long one.
Yeah. But we're gonna end it with our out of 10 reviews as we always do. Yeah. You always go first.
Let's see. I enjoyed Adolin. I enjoyed Tanavast's story, but he wrecked everything else. So I'm giving this a 3.
Oh. Okay.
It's below 5 because he bastardized all the characters that I like. Like I know it's Sanderson's world to do with what he wants. I'm not shitting
Doesn't
on
mean we
that.
have to like it.
Exactly. Yeah. He destroyed. He got me all hyped for this, and then he just didn't pay out anything. So it's a 3. Yeah. And then the book's just written not well overall. In my opinion, not written well. It's bloated. It's slow, and I felt bored reading a lot of it.
And it's tell don't show.
Yeah, and it's tell, which is always a fucking crime.
Disgusting.
So yeah, it's a 3. I was not for. Minus that 25%, and then Adolin and Tanavast stories, and Sev's backstory, I was not entertained by this book. That's such a small amount of entertainment.
Yeah, one of my big complaints is every single book has a scene where you're like, oh my god, and you look back to it, opening on the Perpendicularium, Kaladin, landing in to fight Sev. There's so many words of radiance. This book made me appreciate Words of Radiance more of the book.
So much more, yeah.
So many
it's awesome.
Good scenes in Words
and also,
of Radiance.
like, where did the Sanderlanche begin and end? Where did that happen? Because I didn't feel a Sanderlanche at all. And you know what? Yeah, he doesn't have to have a Sanderlanche every fucking time. Yes, but like in this one, kind of did.
Any Stormlight you do, especially in this one.
Yeah,
it's the end of the arc.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't feel like it.
So it's like, bleh.
Yeah, I was gonna give it a 3.15. I was gonna give it 3. I'll give it a 3.25. 3.25 because I'm gonna give it a 3 because of Adolin, Tanavast, and Sev's backstory. Yeah. That's the 3, and the 0.25 is the first 25% of the book.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, fair. All right, there we go. Nice symbolism there.
Because this book is, like we said, we'll say it again, this book is bloated, poorly written, not exciting, not fun. If you enjoyed it, you are allowed to enjoy it.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
There's things I know are poorly written and bad that I enjoy. Mm-hmm. There's tons of anime I watch that I know is shit.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
and I enjoy. But you can't sit there and say this is like a well-written book. That's the only thing.
That's I agree with that. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Thank you, Normal Nerd Nation, for listening and maybe even watching another podcast episode. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Reddit, YouTube, and Instagram. Davis is always posting hilarious memes on there.
Also, like and subscribe while you're at it, and leave a rating if you have some time. It helps people find the show.